is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. 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 When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. Pray. Pray.
Welcome, everyone, to Dr. Pillai's Religion of Religions YouTube channel. The program that we're about to do right now is a live planetary puja using the chart of now, which is based on the location where I am right now in Florida. With this puja, we're honoring the planets, the stars, the archetypes that rule the stars, and you could sort of think of it as like you're coming to a big party and maybe you're getting introduced to a lot of folks and maybe you won't remember all their names, but you can still have some fun at the party is a little bit how I think of it sometimes. So whether you're brand new to this puja or you've been here before, welcome. Dr. A's vision for the Religion of Religions channel is, he said, the foundation of all religions is love. And it is his desire through the Religion of Religions YouTube channel to unite the many different sects of all religions by meeting in the spiritual realm, by meeting in the heart. We believe in the supreme divine power taking form in all gods and goddesses from every religion, and we celebrate their existence on planet Earth. The intention is also to give an authentic experience of God, the experience of divine love, where there is no separation from each other. So that's his vision for this channel. And I'm very happy to be hosting these calls Monday through Friday. My name is Swamini Valli. I am a Pillai Center teacher and an AstroVed astrologer. And in working with the planets and the stars, they're more than just objects in outer space. There's also a light being associated with each planet, with each star, with the archetypes that rule the stars. So as we're doing this puja, we're connecting with them and we're inviting their positive blessings to come into us and into our world. In addition to planets and stars being something that's out there in space, their energies are also inside of all of us. And as we do this puja, we can be awakening our own connection to those energies inwardly and activating those energies. So there's a inner connection with all of us on the call, and then with all of these divine beings that we're invoking. We're working with the South Indian style layout of the chart, again, based on the location where I am right now in Florida. For those of you that are new to the South Indian style chart, there is a link to a tutorial video in the description area of the video below, which can introduce you to this style of chart in more detail than I can do right now. But just very quickly to say that each of these 12 boxes that you're seeing here, each of them represent a zodiac sign, which is 30 degrees. So this chart is covering the whole 360 degrees of the zodiac. Where it says AC here, this represents ascendant, sometimes called rising sign, sometimes called Lagna. And this is the sign that's coming up on the eastern horizon right now in my local area. And then this is representing Ketu here in Libra. This is Pluto and Saturn, both of whom are retrograde right now in Capricorn. This is Neptune, who's retrograde, and Jupiter in Pisces. This is Mars, Uranus, Mars, Rahu, and Uranus in Aries. And Uranus and Ketu are always retrograde. And last night, Rahu went retrograde over Uranus, who's also retrograde, but he moves really slowly. So yesterday, Rahu was here and he moved over Uranus just ever so slightly. So that lineup has changed. Over here is Gemini, which has Venus and the moon today. And here we have Cancer, which has Sun and Mercury. So this is the chart that we're working with right now. When Dr. Pillai taught this puja to myself and Raja Malloy, Mina's brother, many years ago, he asked us to draw the chart onto a blackboard in chalk. So I have on my side table, I have a little blackboard that has this chart in chalk. And as we go along, I'm going to be offering flower petals on top of the blackboard, on top of where the different planets are, the stars they're in, etc. Flowers have tremendous purity. It's why they're used in many traditions for rituals, weddings, etc. Flowers just have great purity. And when you're holding them, when you're doing prayer or chanting mantras, they have such purity that they take the vibration of the sound and they send it straight into the causal plane, or kind of like updating your own Akashic records. So that's one reason that we're working with the flower petals. I also have on the side table a lit tea light. I have a fan, I have a bell, and I also have a little bowl of water. I'm going to start with just sprinkling a little bit of water on each side of the blackboard, the 4 directions. I'm going to put a little drop of water on top of myself, and I'm going to toss a little drop of water out into space towards all of you who are watching it either live or later on the recording, so that we're all participating in this puja in a sacred space. We'll start with first invoking Ganesha, the archetype who removes obstacles, and we'll use the mantra Om Sring Gung, S-R-I-N-G, G-U-N-G. Om Sring Gung, Om Sring Gung, Om Sring Gung. We ask Ganesha to come and to remove all obstacles for everyone with this puja. Next, we're going to do a short Tamil chant, asking all of the planets to be beneficial towards us. Up above in the chat, I posted a link to where you can see the words to this chant. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Avar Kumikave, Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Avar Kumikave, Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Avar Kumikave. We ask all of the planets and divine beings that we're about to invoke to send their positive blessings to us. We thank Saint Gnanasamundar, a Tamil saint, for these sounds, and we thank Dr. Pillai for teaching them to us. Now we're going to turn our attention to the time Shaktis of the moment. We're going to invoke the planet that rules the day, the star that the moon is in, the Tithi or the moon phase, the Hora, the planet that rules the hour or the Hora, and we'll also look at the Yoga and the Karana that are active right now. We start with first invoking the planet that rules the day. Today in my area, it's Wednesday, which is ruled by Mercury. We honor Mercury, and there is a link up above in the chat to all the planetary mantras if you're not familiar with them. We invoke Mercury, and I put the flower petals on top of him each time I do the mantra for him. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Next, we invoke the star that the moon is in. Right now, the moon is in a star called Purnavasu. We honor this star. Om Purnavasaye Namaha. Om Purnavasaye Namaha. Om Purnavasaye Namaha. Next, we invoke the Tithi, or the moon phase. In my area right now, we're still in the 14th waning moon, which is called Chaturdasi. Later this morning, it'll turn into the new moon, but right now it's still the 14th waning moon. For the Tithi, Dr. Pillai said we'd use the Sanskrit name and then add the word Devi, which is invoking the light being associated with that moon phase. I put the flower petals on top of the moon. Om Chaturdasi Devye Namaha. Om Chaturdasi Devye Namaha. Om Chaturdasi Devye Namaha. Now we invoke the planet that rules the hour. Right now in my area, the hour that we're in is ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Dr. Pillai said for the yoga and the Karana time elements, we would just say their names 3 times, no flower petals. The yoga right now that's active is Vajra, which has energies of power burst. Vajra, Vajra, Vajra. The Karana that's active right now is one called Sakuna, which has energies that have the quality of devious. Sakuna, Sakuna, Sakuna. So now that we've honored the active time Shaktis, we turn our attention to the chart of the moment. Right now, Dr. Pillai said we start with the sign that is the ascendant, which right now is the sign of Leo, and we look at what planet rules the ascendant sign. Leo is ruled by the sun, so we start by honoring the sun, and I put the flower petals on top of him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we go from the ascendant, we go in a clockwise direction around the chart until we come to a sign that has a planet in it. The first sign with the planet in it is here in Libra, which has Ketu in it. We honor Ketu, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Ketu is in a star called Vishaka. This is a star that has competitive energies. It's a star that helps us enjoy to win, to be successful, victorious. We honor this star. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Vishaka is ruled by a pair of archetypes, Indra and Agni. We invoke them. Indra can give blessings of leadership and courage, and Agni, the god of fire, can give energies of transformation and purity. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Vishaka star is ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put the flower petals on top of him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Libra, which is Venus. We honor Venus, and I put the flower petals on top of him. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Tula or Libra, a sign with energies of balance and harmony, today containing Ketu, which is sometimes called the saintly planet. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with a planet in it is Makara or Capricorn, which today contains Pluto, who is retrograde, and also Saturn, who is retrograde. When planets are retrograde, they're extra powerful. We're using the three outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, because this year Dr. Pillai commissioned statues for those three archetypes and had them energized in fire labs and placed into his temple in India. So the mantras that we're using are the mantras that were used in the fire labs for these divine beings. So we start with honoring Pluto. The mantra for him that we're going to use is Om Krum Kuntankaya Namaha. We honor him, and I put the flower petals on top of him. Om Krum Kuntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kuntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kuntankaya Namaha. Right now, Pluto is in a star called Uttarashada. This is a star that can give blessings of success and even blessings for long-lasting success. We honor this star. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the 10 Visvadevas, archetypes who each represent a particular divine universal principle. We invoke their blessings. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the sun. We honor the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Next, we honor Saturn for being in Capricorn. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Saturn right now is in a star called Dhanishta. This is a star that gives blessings for wealth, prosperity, music, and also desire for a reputation. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Dhanishta star is ruled by the 8 Vasus, 8 light beings who each rule different spheres of existence. We honor them. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Dhanishta star is ruled by Mars. We honor Mars, and I put the flower petals on top of him. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Next, we honor the planet that rules Makara or Capricorn, which is Saturn. Again, we honor Saturn, and I put the flower petals on top of him. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Makara or Capricorn, a sign that can activate ancient past life skills and abilities, today containing Pluto, a planet that can help us with rationality and science, and Saturn, a planet that can give us blessings for patience, discipline, organization, structure. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Meena or Pisces, which today contains Neptune retrograde and Jupiter. We start with honoring Neptune, and the mantra for him is Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Right now, Neptune is in a star called Purva Bhadrapada. This is a star with the fire of Kundalini and a star of change, transformation. We honor this star. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Purva Bhadrapada star is ruled by Aja Ekapada, a one-footed archetype who can help us to experience the blessings of silence and forgiveness. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Purva Bhadrapada's star is ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put the flower petals on top of him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor Jupiter for being in Pisces. Again, we honor him, and I put more flower petals on top of him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Jupiter is in a star called Uttara Bhadrapada. Dr. Pillai says this is a star that can help us with business development. We ask blessings from this star. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Uttara Bhadrapada star is ruled by an archetype called Arbundiya. Among other things, he has the ability to guard treasures. We ask his blessings to guard our treasures, our valuables, our precious things. Om Arbundiyaye Namaha. Om Arbundiyaye Namaha. Om Arbundiyaye Namaha. Uttara Bhadrapada star is ruled by Saturn. We honor Saturn, and I put the flower petals on top of him. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. The sign of Meena or Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. Again, we honor Jupiter, and I put more flower petals on top of him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Meena or Pisces, the most transcendental metaphysical of all the signs, today containing Neptune, which is a planet that helps with our intuition and our ability to understand our inner self, and Jupiter, planet of spiritual teachings and our relationship with spiritual teachers and our spiritual community. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rossier sign with the planet in it is Misha or Aries, which today contains Mars, Rahu, and Uranus. Rahu and Ketu are always going retrograde, and last night Rahu, just for the smallest amount, crossed over Uranus, so they're in a different lineup here than they were yesterday. However, they're all still in the same star, so I'm going to invoke all three of the planets before I invoke the star. We start with invoking Mars, who has energies of both the warrior and the healer. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Next, we invoke Rahu, a planet that helps us to think outside the box. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Next, we invoke Uranus, and we'll use the mantra Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. Uranus, Dr. Pillai says, is a kind of a sky god. He helps us to have success in life. Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. All three of these planets, Mars, Rahu, and Uranus, are all in a star called Bharani, a star which is symbolized as the yoni, which is a symbol for the female private parts. This is a star with a tremendous amount of divine feminine Shakti or power or energy. We honor this star. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Bharani star is ruled by Yama, an archetype who, among other things, is an archetype of justice. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Bharani star is ruled by Venus. We invoke Venus, and I put the flower petals on top of Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Aries. Aries is symbolized as a ram, and a ram is a creature that can go up into the rocky high places that other animals can't ever get into. So it's a sign with a tremendous amount of active energy. The planet that rules this sign is Mars. We honor Mars, and I put the flower petals on top of him. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Misha or Aries, a fire sign, a sign with this tremendous active energy, today containing Mars, a planet with both warrior and healer energies. Rahu, a planet that can help us with new technologies, and Uranus, a planet that helps with high intelligence, innovation, and also helps us with astrology. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rossier sign with the planet in it is Mithuna or Gemini, which is symbolized in the Vedic as a man with a club and a woman with the lute, sort of representing like the very aggressive side of masculine energies, the very elegant side of feminine energies, and everything in between. So it's a great range of energies in this sign. There are two planets here. One is Venus and the other is the moon. We start with honoring Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Venus right now is in a star called Ardra, a star symbolized as a teardrop of compassion. We honor this star. Om Ardraye Namaha. Om Ardraye Namaha. Om Ardraye Namaha. Ardra's star is ruled by Rudra, a form of Shiva that comes and destroys negativity. We ask his blessings. Om Rudraye Namaha. Om Rudraye Namaha. Om Rudraye Namaha. Ardra's star is ruled by Rahu. We honor Rahu, and I put the flower petals on top of him. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Next, we honor the moon for being in Gemini. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Right now, the moon is in a star called Purnavasu. This is a star with energies that have the quality of freedom-loving. It's a freedom-loving star. We honor this star. Om Purnavasaye Namaha. Om Purnavasaye Namaha. Om Purnavasaye Namaha. Purnavasu star is ruled by a goddess called Aditi. She's an amazing goddess, and she's actually the mother to many other archetypes, including our own sun. We honor this goddess. Om Aditye Namaha. Om Aditye Namaha. Om Aditye Namaha. Purnavasu star is ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put more flower petals on top of him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Mithuna or Gemini, which is Mercury. We honor Mercury, and I put the flower petals on top of him. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Mithuna or Gemini, this sign with a great range of energies, today containing Venus, a planet of creativity and the arts, and the moon, which is a planet that helps with our mind and our emotions, and a planet that helps us in our dealings with our mother or mother figures. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Karkata or Cancer, which today has both the sun and Mercury. We honor the sun, and I put flower petals on top of the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. The sun is in a star called Pushya, a star with energies of nourishment, and a star that is considered to be the most spiritually auspicious of all the stars. We honor this star. Om Pushyaye Namaha. Om Pushyaye Namaha. Om Pushyaye Namaha. Pushya's star is ruled by an archetype called Brihaspati, a form of Jupiter in which he is considered a great teacher, a teacher sometimes even of other archetypes. We honor Brihaspati. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Pushya's star is ruled by Saturn. We honor Saturn, and I put the flower petals on top of him. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Karkata or Cancer, which is the moon. We honor the moon, and I put flower petals on top of the moon. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Karkata or Cancer, a sign symbolized by the crab, a creature that lives in a rather narrow band of energy, doesn't go too far into the water or too far up into the sand. This sign is considered to be the most emotionally sensitive of all the signs. Today it contains the sun, which is our soul, and the sun is also important for our health. And also Mercury, planet of communication, and also planet of commercial success. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. Now, I'm taking a lit ghee lamp and holding it above the little blackboard I have on the side table that has the chart drawn on it in chalk and has all these little flower petals piled up on it now. And I take the tea light, and above the blackboard and the flower petals, I pass it 3 times with my right hand in a clockwise direction, offering all these divine beings that we have just invoked, the element of light. Then I'm taking a little hand fan. You could use an incense stick, but I have a housemate who is sensitive to scent. So I'm just waving a little hand fan gently above the chart 3 times in a clockwise direction, offering the element of a cooling breeze, the element of air. And now I'm taking a bell and I'll ring it 3 times in a clockwise direction over the chart, offering the element of sound. Now I put my hands in a prayer position and I make sincere prayer to all of these divine beings that we have just invoked, asking them to bless us, to bless our families, our friends, our neighbors, our colleagues, our homes, our workplaces, our schools, our communities, our countries, and even the entire world. We ask them to bless everyone on the planet. May everyone on this planet have healthy food to eat, clean water to drink, clean air to breathe, a safe place to live, good clothes to wear, access to healthcare, good education, sustainable jobs. May we have enlightened leaders, enlightened laws, enlightened citizens, enlightened countries, and entire enlightened civilizations. May everyone on this planet have love in their life, now and always. And I make a bow. You can continue to make your own inner prayers silently for a minute, and then we can open for Q&A. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the soul, peace to the mind, peace to the environment. Peace, peace, peace. May we all go about our day or our evening in peace. Om Drum Dattatreya Shiva Baba. So I see a few questions in the chat. I see M asking to explain the significance of the ascendant in Vedic astrology. How long is the house? In Spain, in my local area, it is in Libra. The ascendant is the zodiac sign that's coming up on the eastern horizon. In my area at the moment, that's Leo. Yes, if you're in a different location, such as Spain, it will be in a different zodiac sign. She's saying in her area, it's in Libra. Dr. Pillai said with the puja, we would start with whatever sign is the ascendant sign in the local area of the person that's conducting the puja. So that's why we use Leo for today. The ascendant sign is important. For example, in your own birth chart, the ascendant sign in your birth chart, that sign has a lot to do with your own character and your personality. It's an important sign in someone's chart. And so we honor that sign and the planet that's, honor that rules that sign in the puja. I'm not quite sure how long the ascendant is active. Again, at different latitudes and longitudes, that will be different, at different times of the year, but it's going to change throughout the day. It's not going to stay in Leo for all of the day. If I were to do this puja at sunrise in my local area, the ascendant sign would probably be the same sign that the sun is in. So the sun right now is in Cancer. So if I were doing the puja at sunrise in my local area, the ascendant would probably be in Cancer. But we're doing it a bit later in the morning, so it's already moved into Leo in my area. So that's a little bit about the ascendant sign. Someone is asking to explain yoga and karana. Yoga and karana are two time shaktis. The yoga is calculated off of a formula that I have done in the past, but I can't remember it well enough to say it off from memory. But it's calculated. It's a relationship between the degree of the sun and the degree of the moon, and a formula with that. And there's something, I don't know, over 25 perhaps yogas that come in kind of a set order. They'll rotate through that list. I don't know if it's exactly 25, but they change per the duration of that time element. They're part of what's called the panchang, or the 5 limbs of the time shaktis that are prayed to. So Dr. Pillai wanted us to say their names, but they don't really get represented in the chart. We're not offering them flower petals. The karana, the duration of the karana is half of a moon phase. They don't rotate in a set order like the yogas do. They are assigned to different half phases of different moon phases. And so there's a smaller number of them, and they will pop up at different times. So that's perhaps not a very thorough explanation of them, but they are 2 time shaktis that are honored and recited when they're doing important rituals. For example, in India, the priest doing a fire ceremony will invoke a lot of different time elements, like even the yuga, the month, the day, the hour, the star, the moon phase, and the yoga and the karana. All of them get invoked. The Vedic system has great units of time and very, very tiny units of time. And Dr. Pillai is trying to get us to realize that, every moment is new. Every moment is new. Every moment you have the opportunity to make a fresh a fresh choice. You can change your mind at any moment, have a different, expression, make a shift, make a change. Every moment is new. And so that's part of what we see with doing this chart on a daily basis. Every day, the chart has some change in it, whether it's the moon coming into a different star or some planet, making a shift into a different sign, etc. So every moment is new. And to realize that time is a precious, precious thing for us, and for us not to be disrespecting time or to be wasting it. Dr. Pillai says when you're disrespecting time, you're also disrespecting money, because he says it's a true thing. Time is money, money is energy, all those things are interconnected. So we have to become more alert about time, and that helps us to become more alert about our money as well. Okay, so yes, someone is saying there's a lot of concepts here. Yes, Dr. Pillai is opening the door for us to learn many deeper wisdoms and to begin to apply them in our life in a practical way. So this is a little puja that we do. And like I said, it feels like every day doing it, I'm opening a door for kind of a big party, all these archetypes. And it is like a big party. When you first go to a party, you might not know everybody there, but you might make friends with a few of them. And then next time you're at the party, you might meet a few more of them, etc. So whatever level that you're participating in the puja is totally fine. Some people may just be listening to it in the car on their way to work. That's fine. Some people may be drawing the chart and offering flower petals too. That's wonderful. But however you're doing it, just even hearing the names of these divine beings, Dr. Pillai has said all their names are a kind of a mantra or a quantum sound. And when we say their names or hear their names, we're connecting with their positive vibrations. So we're inviting their blessings into our lives. It's a true divine principle that the light cannot force its way into us. We really do have free will. So we have to invite the light to come in. So we're inviting the blessings of these divine beings to activate inside of us and through us out into our world. So thank you all very much for being here. I'm happy to answer a few questions every day, except for Friday. On Fridays, we have another program coming right up, and I have to be very prompt to get off the channel so that Ronnie can make her preparations for the next program. But the other days of the week, I can take a few questions. So thank you for being here today. I'm grateful that you have participation, and I will be here again tomorrow. We're doing this Monday through Friday, and we'll continue doing this, I guess, as long as people are showing up. So thank you for being here or for watching the replay later. Namaste, blessings to everyone. I'll see you again tomorrow.